there. How's everybody doing? Well, it's been a long time in the making, but a number of people kind of reached out on the channel that was following our trip to the Great White North, asking what do I mean by a Frankinbike, or what did I do to earn that name, or how did I make this quasi off-road capable or whatever. So I thought I'd walk you around it, because actually that was a pretty big part of the journey, was doing all the mods on this bike over the winter in my garage, trying to turn it into something it's not really. I mean, they did name it the Versus for a reason, but I mean, I'm not kidding anybody when, I'm saying that this isn't an off-road bike, and it certainly isn't like my buddy's GS, and nor do I pretend it to be. It was something my budget could do, and I could get out and see if I like that style of riding. I can tell you right now that anything we did this trip would be the extent of it. I can't see myself, pushing the envelope and slugging through miles of mud and shit like that. That just doesn't seem like a thing that I would be interested in doing. However, being able to see a cool road and take off, just as you want to. Hey, I wonder where this goes. Well, I'd say this did quite well. Found a snowmobile trail. We kind of climbed a few mountains, pretty extreme angles. Like some places were 20% grade or better on gravel, with 10-kilometer-an-hour switchbacks, and the switchbacks weren't even level. They were also part of that grade. So there were times I thought I was flying right over my handlebars, but it kept up. I didn't disable the ABS, if anyone's asking. So it was a quasi skid, quasi ABS down the hill sometimes. I probably would have had a little more control had I disabled it. So anyways, I just thought I'd maybe walk you around the bike a little bit and show you what I did. One of the barriers I had was that this is a 2014, so it's 2 generations old now, and a lot of aftermarket support is dying off specific to this bike. I'll point out some things that I had to get creative with to make things work. So we'll start out with the bike. It's 2014 Kawasaki Versus 650. It only had 13,000 kilometers on it when I bought it, so lots and lots of life left. And it had pretty good street tires on it, but that was actually the first thing we did. I did a bunch of research and found out that people are liking these Shinko 705s. I'm not sure if I can get dialed into the size exactly, because I haven't committed to memory, but essentially they're like something like a 70 road, 30 off road kind of thing. And I tell you, one thing that was really awesome was that these things held the pavement really good. Like, I didn't notice a difference other than a little more noise of confidence going around the corners and the twisties and that kind of thing. So I really am happy with this. The big thing was getting that 17-inch tire for kind of an on-off road scenario. So that one was kind of the tricky part, but wore really good. I mean, I'll get a lot of life on that front and the back, even though I was loaded with me at about 250 and another 100 pounds of gear. We put on about 8,000 kilometers on the bike, and that's how much tread's left. So I can't complain with that. So yeah, tires, right? The other thing I did was I changed the sprocket out on the rear. I dropped a tooth on the rear, and that took a lot of the bottom end twitchiness out of it. However, as luck would have it, my chain gave it up in Whitehorse, and so did my front sprocket. Yes, I know you should always change them together, but live and learn. Anyways, the only sprocket I could find in Whitehorse was one that was 2 teeth smaller. So I got the gearing I wanted with the rear sprocket change, and but then when I changed the front sprocket, I kind of reverted to that shitty gearing again, and it was fairly twitchy as I was driving slow speed on gravel. Even in second or third gear was a little high for some spots, and second gear was a little too low gear. But anyways, yeah, so another thing I wanted to do is I wanted to come up with a pannier solution. And you see these here, these are GV mounts for the bike, and I don't have them with me, but I have some GV panniers that clip onto them. The interesting thing about it is their website, no website tells you that they work with each other. I actually had to find out by seeing a bike in a showroom, a used bike in a showroom, that showed these types of things, and I bought them, made them work, and they're nice. They're kind of a semi-rigid soft bag, but it turned out that bag was too small for me to go on this trip with anyway, so I ended up taking just some soft bags and strapping the hell out of them. The other one was I needed some protection on the engine. Putting this thing down, there's not a lot to save the plastic or anything, so I got these GV